but they're trying to take the credit for inventing it when in reality it was invented earlier. On my boot camps, I teach a lot of operant conditioning. Now, people know that by another name. Some of you know it as speed seduction. It's essentially operant conditioning. You know what? Thorndike invented that in the 20s. I love how people like saying, no, it was invented in the 80s. No, believe me. Maybe that name speed seduction was, maybe specifically for the use of seducing women it was, but the origins of it, that are a lot more powerful than the version that's been taught, was discovered in the 1920s. Psychology is very powerful, especially if you know how to use it. And Milgram in 1975 identified that having a justified reason for something made something more believable. He went up to people on the New York City subway and said to them, hi, can I have that chair? And being the pleasant New Yorkers that we know how people from New York are, they all told him what he could do by himself, alone, in a dark room where he could shove it. Paul Milgram went away and went, how can I change his behavior? Out of every 100 people he spoke to, he had about 80-20. 20 would give up the seat, 80 wouldn't. About 80% of people won. He managed to completely flip that so that 80% would give him a seat and 20% wouldn't. Do you know what he did to do that? He justified it. Mate, do you mind if I have that seat because I've got a bad leg? Oh, of course, sir, grab a seat. That's all it took. If he could convince friendly New Yorkers to do that, you have no problem convincing a girl who doesn't completely hate you to go along with whatever you're saying at any given time. Justify it. The most beautiful fact is they also discovered that the justification doesn't necessarily have to make sense. So, for example, we tested in Austin, going up to girls and saying, can I have that seat? And they said no. They went, can I have that seat because I've got a bad leg? And they said yes. And then we went up and said, can I have that seat because I have a nose? And they still said yes. That video is on YouTube under Dating Science. If you haven't watched it, it's my homemade pickup TV show I made. It's free, Dating Science. You can watch that episode, you can see it yourself. The guy that did it is one of my instructors, and even he's like, I can't fucking believe this shit works. I slapped him. I slapped him straight after that. Not because he didn't believe me, but because after doing that he went, I'm amazing. I feel my game has improved so much. Watch this. We went up to this chick on the dance floor and he went, hey, do you want to go for a dance? And she went, no. And I slapped him. Bam, why did I slap him? He didn't justify that shit. He spent a whole 2 hours with me filming, justifying everything. Then went up to go, want to go for a dance? No. Dumbass. Justify it. The number one thing is if you get an objection, justify it. I had a friend of mine, his name's Spoons, he's a London PUA, he doesn't teach, never know him. Picks up this chick and he starts walking into his house. She's walking along and suddenly she goes, where are we going? And Spoons is like, not that question. It doesn't matter. No, where are we going? I want to know where we're going. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are you taking? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? And he's like, I've got to tell you something. We're going back to my house because I want to show you the dolphins from my window. She goes, oh, okay, all right. He lives in London. He's lucky to have a fucking window, let alone dolphins outside of it. The only water in London is about that deep in the Thames, and it's black, and there ain't no dolphins. She went for it. There ain't no dolphins. He justified it. He had a reason. Your number one way of dealing with objections is to have a reason. Another thing that you can do, another way to handle objections, is you can use disqualification. A lot of people don't know what disqualification is. They think it's where you go, oh, you know what, I like you but you're blonde and I only date brunettes. A lot of people think disqualification is, oh, it's too bad that I met you in a nightclub because now our relationship's completely over. I wouldn't want to date someone I met in a club. Yeah, whatever, maybe that's a disqualification. A real disqualification is when you deal with an objection in advance and you completely remove its validity. For example, one of the best ways I've found of using a disqualification is using exaggeration. It's very simple. Disqualification, exaggeration. On the way home to my house from the nightclub, if you walk, you have to walk through an alley. And the alley is pitch black. Imagine meeting a girl in a nightclub, only knowing her for 2 hours and running the best fucking game ever, taking her out of the nightclub, telling her that you live just around the corner from a nightclub, and taking her down an alley. You know what happened? I found out the first time I took a girl down there. She looks at me and goes, do you know what? I don't even fucking know you. That is one hell of an objection to deal with. Well, I don't know you either. Shit. You gotta do it, it's difficult, right? So I made a point, after that one ran away and called the police, I needed to do something about it. So what I did was I started to analyze how I could deal with that objection. And I realized, because I knew the objection was coming, I could deal with it in advance. So what I'd do is, before coming to that objection, I would make a deal of it by disqualifying it. I'd be like, oh, just so you know, we're gonna go around a corner into a dark alley. Now this is normally where I absolutely massacre everyone I meet. So could you do me a favor? Take off one of your socks, shove it in your mouth, don't make any noise. That way when I slit your throat, no one will hear. She looks at me like, are you serious? I'm like, no, I'm not fucking serious. Come on, let's go. Bam, no problem, straight through the alley. No issue, no objection, bang. Because I disqualified it. What kind of crazy psychological killer is gonna say it first? If you are a crazy psychological killer, please do not use that. It will ruin everybody's chances of dealing with objections. Yeah? Very simple. Now the alternate to that is, as I said, you just exaggerate it. But that exaggerates it in a bad way. What if you want to exaggerate it in a positive way? I have also used, oh God, I forgot. She's like, what? We're gonna go through that alley. What alley? Look, on the way to my house, it's a really dark alley, and I am convinced werewolves live in it. She's like, are you for real? Yeah. When we go through it, you're gonna have to put your arms around me, you're gonna have to hug me so close to that nice warm body of yours, okay? You have to protect me down that alley. And the chick's like, all right, we get round, I'm like, quick, hug me. And I grab her and we make out and we go down the alley, problem solved, yeah? It doesn't matter, whichever way you want to do it, disqualify the situation. Build it up. Maybe you're thinking, you know what, Adam's full of shit. I don't like role playing, I'm a very serious individual. Maybe you're one of those super arrogant guys that are like, no, I'm the man. Werewolves don't scare me. If there were werewolves, I'd fucking kill them, because otherwise I'd be demonstrating lower value. Maybe you think like that. Maybe you think, I don't want to exaggerate it, what if she does think I'm trying to kill her? Give you another example, another way you can exaggerate. You can literally just say, go around the corner a bit, hey, just so you know, we're going to go down a dark alley. You're someone who gets really scared of dark alleys, are you? You're someone that has to have the light on when you go to bed. No, I'm not like that. All right, you'll be fine then, let's go. Bam, exaggeration. As long as you deal with the objection in advance, it's disqualifying, no problem. Yes?
All right.
Do you want to save the question for the end?
Okay, guys.
Save it for the end. We'll do a Q&A at the end. And if the cameras keep rolling and you guys can keep the questions and answers as well, it's good stuff. So the next point, you've done your disqualifications, it's another way of handling it, another way of dealing with the objection. A lot of people think that women give them objections so they don't have to fuck you. I'm lying. I'm not lying. They're telling the truth. What's actually going on is that a woman isn't giving you an objection so she won't fuck you. She's giving you an objection and telling you the criteria that you have to overcome so she will fuck you. For example, I'm not going home with you, I don't even know you. That isn't a shit test. That isn't something where you have to be cocky and funny to deal with it. That is her telling you from the bottom of her heart what you need to do to have sex with her. She needs to get to know you better. So don't try and take her home. Oh my God, you know what, I understand. You know, I barely know you. Tell me some things about yourself. Bang, shift it, start qualifying, start getting more of a connection, build rapport, get the two of you to know each other in and out. Know her family history, know her brothers, her sisters, her aims, her ambitions. Get that shit out of her. And then you can go, you know what, I really do make the best pancakes. Remember the ones I was telling you about that my mum taught me how to make? Those. The blueberry ones, you're gonna die for them. Look, come back to my place, I'll make you the best pancakes and cakes ever, and I'll send you in a cab home. Okay, off she comes home. What did we do? We justified it, coming over to my house to have pancakes. We've given her the ability to get away from it later by saying she can get a cab home. Oh no, the cab company's number isn't working. It never fucking works. Should really check that number. Yeah? She comes back to their house, she's got everything she needs because you've overcome her objection. Don't worry about trying to be big. Deal with the objection. You can't come back to yours, I've got work in the morning. No, what she means is she doesn't want to be late for work. You go, you know what, don't worry about it. Go back to mine for 10 minutes. Pancakes are the fastest thing in the world to make. You'll eat some great pancakes. I'll get you in a cab, you'll be home before you know it, you'll get a full night's sleep. Work in the morning is not a problem. Work around the objection. Finally, a very important part is a lot of the time she just wants to give you the responsibility of her actions. I'm going to let you into a secret. Some people know this, some don't. I used to organize big nightclub events